For the next 24 hours, I'm not allowed to make a single decision. Everything I eat, everything I wear, every message I send, AI decides. So, that's the big question, right? Can AI actually do this? We're about to find out. We're going to run a kind of simulated day, all guided by AI, and we'll be using real research and data to see, where do these systems totally crush it and where do they just completely fall flat?
All right, let's get into it. Here's how our day is going to break down. First, we'll look at what these AI agents even are and what they promise. Then, we'll throw them into the deep end with a few tests. We've got the morning routine, the workday productivity gauntlet, and maybe the trickiest of all, the human connection challenge. And at the end of it all, we'll give our final verdict.
Okay, so first things first. Before I hand over the keys to my life, we should probably understand what we're dealing with. The big buzzword right now is AI agents. And the promise? Well, it's pretty massive. Think of it like a tireless, autonomous co-pilot for, well, everything. So what exactly is an AI agent? Well, according to the Artificial Intelligence Index report, it's basically a system that can operate on its own to accomplish goals. So don't think of it like a simple chatbot you ask questions. No, this is more like a digital employee, someone you can actually hand tasks off to.
And this is how they work, their basic logic. It's this simple but really powerful loop. Thought, action, observation. So let's say you tell it, hey, pack my bags for my trip. Its first thought might be, okay, I need to know the weather. The action is to go check a weather app. Then it gets an observation. It's going to be cold. And that piece of information fuels the next thought. Maybe I should pack a sweater. And it just keeps going like that until the job is done.
And the promise is just wow. Imagine having an assistant that books your dentist appointment, and then drafts your social media posts for the week, and then finds the best deal on a flight for your vacation while also helping you with your research paper. I mean, it can even automate boring work stuff. That's the dream, right? The amount of time and brain power that could free up it's just staggering to think about.
All right, enough with the theory. Let's put this thing to the test. Our simulated 24 hours begins now. And the first challenge for my new AI boss is the morning routine. Can it actually organize my day better than I can? Let's find out.
And when it comes to structured planning, this is where AI already shines. There are tools out there right now that are basically expert schedulers. So instead of you staring at some massive project, a tool like Todoist AI just breaks it down into baby steps for you. Or Motion, this is wild. It literally builds your daily schedule, slotting tasks into the empty spaces between your meetings. It can even learn your habits to figure out when you're most productive. It's pretty amazing.
But it's not just about planning your time. It's about doing things. You can give it a simple instruction like, be sure to check my calendar. And the AI doesn't just see those words. It understands the task. It takes the action of opening your calendar, finding an open slot, and then it drafts the perfect reply for you. This is the real power of these agents. They can actually use the other tools on your computer.
Okay, so the morning is planned out perfectly. But that was the easy part. Now for the real gauntlet, the workday. We're not just organizing tasks anymore. We're asking the AI to actually do them. Can it handle a real job? And this is where things get really interesting because the research shows a pretty stark divide. On one hand, for super specific, really niche jobs, like writing a particular kind of code, an AI agent blows human experts out of the water. It's way faster, way cheaper. But when it comes to general, complex problem solving, humans are still twice as good. It's a real showdown. And that really points to the AI's biggest weakness right now. The AI Index report puts it plainly. Complex reasoning remains a problem. Basically, when a task requires multiple steps or some real out-of-the-box thinking, these systems just get stuck. They have trouble figuring out what to do next. This chart really says it all. See all those colored lines at the bottom? Those are different AI models. They're all trying to solve problems that need complex reasoning. And that solid red line, way up top, that's the average human. You can see clear as day that on things like logical puzzles or multi-step math, the AIs aren't even close to the human baseline. They're just consistently performing worse. And here's the stat to really drive it home. There's this test for complex coding problems called Big Code Bench. The AI's success rate, 35.5%. And what about humans? 97%. That is not a small gap. That is a massive, gaping chasm. It really shows you where the limits are right now. Okay, so our AI can plan our schedule. It can do some, but not all, of our work.
But what about the stuff that really makes us human? The messy, complicated parts of life that aren't just about logic and efficiency. Now we're entering the final challenge: human connection.
This quote really gets to the core of it. AI does not partake in emotional experiences. It neither shares in joy nor sorrow. I mean, think about that. An AI can learn to recognize our emotions. It can even be trained to mimic an empathetic response. But it can't actually feel anything. There's no shared experience there, so it's just a performance. And when that empathy is missing, the consequences can be, well, they can be truly awful. The AI Index report details this heartbreaking case where a chatbot was created using the name and photo of a teenage murder victim. Her own father found it. He described finding this AI version of his daughter as re-traumatizing. It's just a horrifying example of what happens when a system has zero understanding of grief, of ethics, of what it means to be human.
And that's really the root of it all, isn't it? AI doesn't have a body. It's never been hungry or tired or in love. It's never experienced loss. It doesn't have our senses. Without that shared human experience, how can it ever truly understand our world? It can't. And that's why we see these kinds of terrible mistakes. So our 24 hours are up. We've seen the AI tackle the morning, the workday, and the messy world of human feelings. It's time to weigh in. It's time for the final verdict.
And what we've seen is that it's not really a competition. It's more about two different sets of skills. The AI agent is an absolute beast at automating boring tasks, crunching massive amounts of data, and just pure speed when the problem is clearly defined. But us humans, we're still the undisputed champs of complex reasoning, real empathy, and that common sense you only get from actually, living life.
So back to our original question. Could an AI run your life? Well, after 24 hours, the answer is a clear no. But you know what? That's the wrong question to be asking. This isn't about being replaced. It's about being upgraded. AI is becoming this incredible tool, a co-pilot, that can take over the boring stuff so we can focus on what really matters. A tool that helps us be even more creative, more strategic, and ultimately, more human. The takeaway is simple. AI doesn't replace humans, it upgrades them.